I'm not that special. Well, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. I know I'm special. I know I get special talent, skills, and gifts. Right? I know my self-importance. I'm self-aware, but I'm not so special to believe that you can't do what I'm doing when I talk about building a one-person business and making a lot of money from it, right? So I want to dedicate this video to Dr. William Picard. We lost him last week. One of our business icons that most of our people don't know much about. He's one of Black Enterprise's top 100 companies for years, many businesses. And so I really want to dedicate this video, this business of one, to him with the subtitle Millionaire Moves, right? Because that's what he taught me. That was one of the lessons that he taught me about coming from his humble beginnings and not thinking too much of himself. And he would always say he's not that special. And if he can do it, he would say, Brother Bedford, if I can do this, if I can build this company that is generating $1.5 billion in revenues. Let me repeat that again. $1.5 billion in revenues. That's why you have to go look him up. Go look up Dr. William Picard. But he would always say, Brother Bedford, if I can do this, I'm not that special. Anybody can do this, but you have to do certain things. And that's why he wrote a book called Millionaire Moves. It was like 7 principles, 7 millionaire moves, these 7 principles that he built his life and career on. And so that was one of the lessons he taught me in our interview. We did Conversations with Black Millionaires, which is one of my projects or my products early on with this one-person business. So I'll have that link below. So there'll be a link to his book and a link to the conversation that we had below. But I want you to look him up so that you can kind of learn more about him. But we lost him. So that was one of the lessons that he taught me. But the other lesson that he taught me, and that because this is really where I want to go with this, because from his humble beginnings, he started building powerful relationships. And each one of those relationships was leveraged or parlayed into this humongous empire that he eventually built. Started off doing a McDonald's franchise, then owning 3 McDonald's franchises, and then getting into the automotive industry. And he got into the automotive industry by meeting Henry Ford, right? But he was introduced to Henry Ford via a relationship, right? A business meeting that turned into that, and then the relationships from Mr. Ford gave him with the auto supply company that he built that became this conglomerate of a collective of auto suppliers that supplied auto parts to all of the major car companies. That's how he made his money, right? Eventually, right? So, but it didn't start that way. He kept parlaying these relationships, and he called these millionaire moves. Now, the reason I bring all of that up is because that's what I've been doing in this business of one, right? My whole conversation with Black millionaire entrepreneurs was based upon that type of philosophy, right? I would interview them, but then they would turn into relationships, and then those relationships would turn into partnerships, joint ventures, strategic alliances. In fact, my relationship with Dr. William Picard started because I had interviewed Dr. George C. Frazier, who's really the father of the network. They were great friends of the networking conversation in the Black community. After I'd interviewed Dr. Frazier, and then after some time, and we had become friends in that relationship. And then, Dr. Picard spoke at the conference, we met. And so that relationship blossomed. And then I interviewed him, and he wanted me to come and do that's another regret. He wanted me to come and do a deep dive on his 7 principles with him. And I never did get the opportunity to do that. That's the second icon from amongst us that asked me to come and have further conversation with them. And I didn't before they passed away. I will never let that happen again. So I'm putting this on video. So if any of the people that I interview say, well, Brother Bedford, I need you to come and unpack some more or meet the, I'm doing it right away. I'm never going to procrastinate and wait. Again, the other person was Butch Lewis, another iconic figure, boxing promoter, along with Don King. It was like the two top black boxing promoters. Butch Lewis is a wild guy too. He was best friends with Denzel Washington. He was behind the scenes on a lot of Hollywood projects. So another beautiful brother that we lost too soon, another icon that we need that wisdom. And that's why I started conversations with Black millionaires to tap into the thinking and the mindset and the habits and behaviors of successful Black millionaires, and then share that with us, those of us who were either budding entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who were still finding our way and trying to tap our way to get to, our goal or where we wanted to be. But it was this one person business that allowed me to tap into these individuals. And so that's kind of where I want this to go. This particular video, this is a part of the series of the one person business, right? That I've created over the last 2 decades. And one of the components or the pillars of the one person business, especially the way that I teach it, is to connect and interview with thought leaders and influencers or icons in your industry, your niche, or your category, and develop that relationship and parlay that relationship into products and services, digital products and services, or it depends on how it goes. Those can blossom into great relationships where you can have strategic alliances and possibly partnerships with these individuals, or they can just become great friends of yours. And Dr. Kimbrough, another icon from amongst them, when I interviewed him, he said, show me the 5 closest people to you and I'll show you your future. So this one person business allowed me, the way that I do it, to interview these paragons of Black business and entrepreneurship and develop relationships and become friends, and they become mentors of mine that have continued to parlay into other relationships and other things that I do. That's a millionaire move. That's what Dr. Picard was teaching me about how he kept doing it. And most of us know that we need relationships. In fact, you can't, Dr. Frazier would say, you're not in business if you don't have relationships. And in fact, the business that you're truly in is in the business of building relationships. And I'm telling you that a one-person business utilizing the internet is the way to begin to connect and build the relationships that you can parlay into the types of products and services, or even just the company or business that you desire, if you do it the right way. So I did these interviews. And again, I'm not special. There's nothing that I did that you can't do. Now, again, my niche, my industry, what I was attempting to do, my goal was to interview Black millionaires for that purpose that I mentioned earlier, was to tap into their thinking and their mindset so that they can share their wisdom and thinking, and we can share that with our people who want to become entrepreneurs. And so that all of us can see, man, if he can do it, if she can do it, man, so can I. And now I want you to look at what I've done with just that particular product or that particular project of conversations with Black millionaires and the relationships that were built from me interviewing them. And now I want you to see yourself as using that same model in building your one-person business. If you sat down right now and say, who are the 10 people in my industry or my niche or my category that I can interview on a Zoom call or on a phone call or whatever there's so many tools today, but let's just say Zoom to keep it easy. Again, I started was freeconferencecall.com. So somebody said, well, Brother Bedford, I'm not you. I don't have those tools and blah, blah, blah. My very first interviews, all of my earlier interviews were done with a free service called freeconferencecall.com and just recorded those interviews. That's why they were just audio. Some of my later interviews, are video and audio, but some of the earlier ones, they was just audio that we did because there was no YouTube, there was no Zoom, there was none of this stuff that we have access to today. So that's another reason why I'm creating this series of videos, because I don't want to say it is easier to get started today with your one-person business because of all of the technology and tools that are available to us that was not available 15, 20 years ago, that could allow you to connect with influencers and thought leaders, and hell, even millionaires if you want to. I kind of pull back on that because some people always think, well, I don't know any millionaires like that. Well, it doesn't have to be millionaires, right? Again, that was my project. That was my goal, to interview Black millionaires, right? That was the name of the project. But there are thought leaders and influencers and experts and authors in your niche or your category, whatever it is, that have been published in magazines and have books, and they're waiting for someone to come and have a conversation and extract their knowledge and wisdom that now you can use as a part of your one-person business to share those interviews, have them transcribed, and share that knowledge and wisdom in books. Mine was, when I did conversations, it was an ebook that turned into, I don't have the physical books on my desk right now, but I'll show them in another video, turn into physical books. I was one of the early adopters of the podcast by taking those same interviews and putting them on an audio podcast. Before now, you see this explosion in podcasting that everybody is doing now. We were doing that with Conversations with Black Millionaires almost 2 decades ago. And so the technology that's available today, the tools, the resources, and now even the reach, the way that you can connect with thought leaders and influencers today, that's a power move. This is a millionaire move. Tipping my hat to Dr. William Picard, that you can begin to parlay into products and services to build your own digital empire. And it doesn't have to be as complicated or strenuous as you think. So in this series, I've already started talking about how you're taking your own knowledge, your own wisdom, and you're putting it into the marketplace. You're creating content and delivering it from your own expertise, because you are standing on a mountain of value. You already have knowledge within your head that you can begin to share and begin to sell and package and sell in different ways. I think I touched on a few of those. If not, I'm going to talk about a few more of the ways. Right now, I'm talking about the interview and getting them transcribed and either keeping them as audio that you can sell, or as I did back in the day, we transcribed them. So you can take your own knowledge, but now what I'm sharing with you today, this millionaire move that Dr. Picard gave me so long ago. And of course, now I can use that and share it with you about how he took those relationships and parlayed those relationships. And I met him through an interview and developed that relationship through Dr. Frazier, Dr. Kimbrough, Les Brown, Kathy Hughes, and others. You can do the same today. And you don't even have to jump through some of the hoops that I had to kind of get started. Right? Some of you are already friends with celebrities or people in your niche, and all you got to do is DM and say, hey, I'd like to interview you for about 20, 30 minutes, and now I can use it and you can use it, but I love to share it with my community or just put it online. One, it becomes great content. But here's the other thing I want you to think about. This is what makes it a power move, a millionaire move. When people see you or hear you having conversations or interviewing or having a dialogue with thought leaders, influencers, authorities, experts, or millionaires, they automatically begin to give you a level of credibility and authority and put you on par with them in their mind, right? It's the Oprah Winfrey effect, right? This is how Oprah built her entire career. She started interviewing people and everybody started trusting and loving Oprah. She didn't create a product. She was just interviewing people. She was a personality. But then what happens after a period of time, now Oprah became the queen maker, right? She launched the careers of Rachel Ray and Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil and all of these individuals. And it all started because she built a one-person empire, right? Remember, one person doesn't mean doing it by yourself. It means that you are the center of your universe and you're constructing an ecosystem of products and services and messages that surround you. And you don't have to change up for anybody, right? You don't have to not be yourself. Oprah is being Oprah, right? Brother B right now, I'm being Brother Bedford right now. You don't have to change it. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can be yourself and speak on the topics and the interests that interest you and attract the right type of audience to listen to you. It's a power move. It's a millionaire move. It's a millionaire move. I can't even begin to tell you how my career has been impacted by having these relationships. And it happens naturally if you apply this model to your one person business. So I got a lot of stuff to unpack in these videos. I don't want to confuse you, but I just wanted to kind of do this because this happened with Dr. Picard last week. And I said, you know what, I want to dedicate the next video because there were so many lessons that he taught me that apply to the one person business that I wanted to first pay homage to him and say how much he meant to me and all of those who read his books and just the talks and the wit that he shared with us, but then also to show you the power of how you can meet people like him and parlay those relationships into other relationships and to grow and expand your one person business. So this is Brother Bedford. I'll see you in the next video. We'll start to unpack this a little bit more. Oh, by the way, I don't know when you're going to see this video. There'll be a link below, but I'm getting ready to start doing a cohort for people who are interested in this. And I'm going to do a meeting next Wednesday. So there should be a link that invites you to a Zoom where I'm going to unpack these things some more. I'll still put some more videos out, but I know people want to ask me questions. And so I'll come on and I'll talk about a few things with the one person business, and then you can ask me some questions. So that link will be below as well. And we're talking about how to become rich as a one person business. That's what we're going to be talking about in this new workshop or this new meeting that we're going to be doing. So this is your Brother Bedford. If you like this video, if you're interested, first like, share, comment, put your questions below. And any questions you have, again, don't hesitate to ask, and I'll come back and I'll address them in the video, or I'll address them in the meeting that we're going to have on Wednesday. So this is your Brother Bedford, and I look forward to talking to you real soon. Take care.